into the final race of GWF season, well, 2. But I forgot to change the title to 1, so I'll do that in a minute. But as you can see by the title, there is a 4-way championship fight going on currently, and yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen in today's race and what can unfold. But yeah, we're going to get a few people in for interviews pre-race. As you can see, we've got 13 people in the lobby so far. James and Lucas in the Mercedes, Skip Butties and Jay in the Red Bull, New Berlin in the McLaren, Mr. Monkey in the Aston Martin, Treeburn and Extinct Body in the Alfa Romeos, Leo Lion, or Low Lion, also known as Leo, in the Alpha Tauri, nobody Ferraris for now, Toxic to Sweet and Norwich Fan 7 in the Alpine, Cardet in the Haas and Vantage in the Williams. It's also a 2-way fight still going on with Red Bull and Alpine for the Constructors' Championships, so it's all to play for still in the final round. And yeah, and I'm going to quickly ask if I can get our first interviewee into the what do you call it? It's the interviewing booth, is it? Well, the hot seat. We'll get that any time now. 4 people in the stream so far. I'm probably going to need to share the link to Discord quickly, because I forgot to do that. Hello, Jay.
Hello.
So, you are in the championship fight both ways, to do with the constructors and the drivers. Do you feel any pressure going into the race?
Well, to be honest, yes. But I think mainly from James, to be honest, because Jack's probably going to win, Skip Butties, but if I just keep within the DRS, let him pull me along, it's an easy kind of Constructors title and maybe not so easy Drivers title, so we're very happy with.
So, do you think you can win the Drivers' Championship, or is that a realistic goal for you?
Definitely, yes. Definitely.
Yeah,
I
well, you guys are very close around Brazil, I've been seeing, and your personal best times are within a 10th, I think it is. So, do you think you can pull out a lap like that in qualifying? Do you think that they can do that as well, so it can make it just as close, or do you think you can pull away by dealing with the pressure better?
If we look at recent weekends, I think we can say that Skip Butties will probably get pole, his 8th of the season. But if not, I don't think I'm capable of getting pole position. I think my qualifying's going to be really shaky. But in the race, I might be able to make up some positions, you know, do some stuff.
Okay,
yeah,
so
qualifying not looking too good right now.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Well, you've obviously got a few people you've got to get past. You know, you've got Toxic to Sweet, who's fighting for Josh, Norwich fan, to get that Drivers' Championship. You've also got a few people on your own side, Vantage in the Williams, maybe even Low Lion in the Alpha Tauri, you just never know. But how quickly do you think you're going to get past them in a realistic way?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think I'm going to be starting behind them, to be honest. The Alpines have been very strong, but they haven't been consistent this season, their finishes.
Do you believe that they should have wrapped up the Constructors' Championship already, with the amount of races that the whole of the Red Bull team have missed?
I would say yes. But then again, the Red Bull team have been putting in lots of work, getting the results.
Would the perfect way to win the championship, both ways, would be for a 1-2 for Red Bull, you finishing 2nd? Would that be the perfect way to wrap it up for you?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. And maybe, who knows, I might be able to get the back-to-back wins, who knows?
Back-to-back wins, and you might be able to get your, if I'm right, the first pole position of the season?
Oh yeah, maybe. Qualifying's been really, really bad for me recently.
Good luck to you, and
Thank you.
wish you
Quickly,
all the best.
I just really want to add that. But for sure, I don't speak for myself when I say this. The elbows, the elbows will definitely come out early on.
Okay, and some aggressive driving will be coming out as well.
Very, very. Everybody's going to try to keep it clean, but as we can see from a real life F1, it's not always the case. It's not always the case.
Very true. Well, thank you, Jay, and you can go back to your little group you've got.
I'm going to go turn on the hacks now. The extra food. See you later. And
Good
hopefully,
luck.
hopefully, I can come back as the world champion.
Hopefully for your case. Thank you.
See ya.
Now there's 16 people in the lobby. Apex Funny's taking a spot up in the AlphaTauri. Monster Munch is in the Ferrari now as well. Anybody else changing? I don't think so, not noticeably. I think that is it for now. But we have a few more drivers joining. I think somebody hasn't picked a team. They just come on with Coco, which is true. Hello, Jack.
Hello.
So, I've already interviewed your Red Bull teammate.
Yep.
So I'm going to ask similar questions. So you are still in with a chance of both championships, the constructors and the drivers. Do you think you can win them both today?
Yeah, I feel like I can still pull hat out of the bag. You know, qualifying pace has been stupendously strong this season, over the 8th pole, but the race pace, you know, the race pace has been good, but it's just, I don't know, really just stupid mistakes really that have cost me a few wins this season, preferably in Abu Dhabi last week as well. Which is
and Portugal as well, you know, get disqualified, overtaking the safety car. It could have been an easy 25 points. But Jay says a 1-2 for Red Bull with Jay in second would still win Jay the championship. Of course you want to win the constructors, but with Jay finishing second would lose you the drivers, so would you want a 1-3 with Alpine still with the chance of taking home the constructors, or anything for just the team?
Preferably yes, but it's not much limitation at the end of the day. You can't bank on anything, really. You can't really.
I've seen the practice races. You've looked the strongest, and you're on a very good run of form. 7 poles is levels above the rest, compared to, I think James has got 2, Jay's got none. So it'd be very interesting. If you take pole position, what's the game plan? Because I know that Ruben is going to be trying to hold you up by going long on the strategy. How quickly do you think you can pass him?
I can pass him fairly easy, to be honest, you know. If he tries to hold me up, I'll just get him on the straight. And if he tries to get me through turn 4, I'll just defend it. So,
Oh,
it's
fair
simple
enough.
as that.
I think
for
we're
that
going to be
pole,
starting
it's
soon,
just-
so
For that pole, it's just trying to drive away, trying to pull 1 second. If I don't pull the 1 second, just have to defend like a madman, won't I? And just keep the
Very
tires in the
true.
window.
well, good luck, and
Thank you.
might come back here after the race as a champion of
Hopefully.
both championships. So good luck.
I hope I do. Nice. Thank you.
So we are about to start here in the Sao Paulo Grand Prix for the 4-way championship fight. I've got 2 of them into interview. We might have Josh come in soon. We'll have to find out. As we are readying up. Readying up for the final race of the season, the one that decides it. Here we go for the qualifying, full qualifying with the 16 drivers. What is going to happen here today? It's a brilliant finale track, of course, but a lot to play for. 4 people in the drivers' standings. So, if Josh finishes first, he wins the championship. If he finishes second and Jack finishes first, he'll need the fastest lap, and he needs James and Jay to finish below P4. If he becomes P3, he's basically lost, and he needs a miracle to win the championship with James. If he becomes first, he's the champion. He's the current leader, if I'm not mistaken. The championship is separated by 4 points from James to Jay from first to second. Josh then down in P3, 1 point behind Jay, 5 points behind the leader, and Jack is currently on the back foot in points, but he is very much on the front foot with the way that it's currently going. And full qualifying here, so it's going to be interesting to see who's going to get eliminated in Q1, Q2 and Q3. Can we see one of the drivers that in the championship fight have a shock elimination, as Ruben down in P5, he cannot win the championship, and he'll be rooting for his teammates and hopefully being able to do something for him. Constructors wise though, we've got Alpine on 216 points, Red Bull on 207 points. The gap for that is 9 points, so Alpine just needs to outscore. No, sorry, it's 208 points because Jay gets 1 point for Red Bull. They need to get 9 points up, outscoring Alpine today, and if they can't do that, Alpine win the Constructor Championship, as we have got people sitting in their garage. Mr. Monkey, Vantage, Tree Burner, Commandment, Coco, all coming up for their laps in Q1 first, all on the soft compounded tyres. Oh, there's a McLaren there, I think, of New Berlin, getting really close to the championship leader through the pit lane. Got a bit close there, but yes, James then to win the championship. He can win the race. If he comes second and Josh or Jay doesn't win, he is the champion. If he gets third with the fastest lap and Jay second and Jack first, he is also the champion. So that's what he needs to win here today. Jay out for a lap as well. Josh and Jack are not out for their laps. Vantage and starting a lap on the soft compound tyre for the Williams. Coming through the first sector, receiving a little bit of a tow there actually. 16.7 in the first sector for Vantage there. It's a purple, might have been taken away actually by the Aston Martin, which I think was Mr. Monkey, but he has invalidated a lap time now with AlphaTauri of Low Lion getting in the way of him already with a bit of traffic there, and Jack actually is up the road a little bit, and Jay then beginning his lap. James also beginning his lap. His first sector time is a 16.643. That'll be noted down for me as 16.6 is the current fastest first sector. 16.581 is the fastest first sector of all as Vantage goes. Fastest with a 107.8. There's yellow flags in sector 3. That does not matter because Jay and James are on a lap, but Jay had to abort because he invalidated that lap time. Going through sector 2 line, then it's a 50.646 in the second sector. In the third sector time won't really matter because it's going to be coming across the line to set the fastest time surely in Q1 with a blistering lap time of a 17.1. That is clear of the rest so far in qualifying. Jack with a 117 flat, that's a way off the pace. 3/10 speeds on the mediums. That's the breaker there. And Touch the Swede's also out on the mediums. And then Josh still in his box, waiting to come out again, I guess. Jay with a 16.498 is the fastest first sector by a mile. But of course we haven't seen Jack's true pace, as he's going to come across the line. It probably won't be faster. Did he back off? I'm not too sure. He definitely backed off, yes. I think he might have incurred a little bit of traffic there as he gets into the pit lane. Straight away, Touches the Swede then coming across the line on his medium lap, and it was invalidated, so it doesn't actually matter. He backed off as well. Jay on a current lap with 50.7 in the second sector. That is not the fastest. It's going to be a close run to the line. James has a faster second sector, Jay has a faster first sector, but he does go second fastest overall by about a tenth and a half. That's how close the gap's going to be in Q3. Lucas entering the pit lane in the Mercedes. Norwich fan going for an outlap currently, warming the tyres, creating a gap to the car ahead. It's got to go soon. It's going to go now. And on board for a whole lap then of this for Norwich fan. Under the most pressure to win the championship is his league, of course, getting on the grass a little bit there, taking a wide line into the start-finish line, and he's going to have to pull off something incredible here to win the championship with yellow flags in sector 2, but Norwich fan will not care about that because he's in sector 1 currently. That looks like a very strong first turn for the Alpine driver, as a tree burner over to the left hand side. It's a 16.5. That's very close to the fastest of all in the first sector, but unfortunately he doesn't quite get it up into the entrance of the next corner, and invalidates his lap time. But that looks very strong from Norwich fan indeed. Only a little bit off the pace to Jay, who's not even P1 just now, so he's looking quite strong around Brazil in the first sector at least. Maybe the second sector might be what lets him down, because he might have a bit more of a straight line speed car, but we'll find that out in the next couple of minutes because Jay has retired in the pit lane. He's confident in his ability, he's confident in his lap time that he's through already, as Josh then creating a gap to the car behind again, which is an Alfa Romeo of tree burner, and he's going to start a second consecutive lap on this soft compound tyre after he validated at the entrance of turn 4, and starting his lap again then. Can he get the first corner as right as he did last time? It seems like he has. That's a pretty strong first corner again, but Jack then creating a gap, making sure his tyre's in the correct window, still on his medium compound tyre. But there's a car in front for Ferrari though, 16.666 for a Norwich fan. He's incurring a bit of traffic there, 2 cars in a row, Ferrari and AlphaTauri getting in his way a little bit there. There's a little bit going on between the Williams, the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo. I think the Alfa Romeo has spun, but we're not going to go on board with that because we do not care. Norwich fan wants to set his pace, wants to show that he has pace and has a chance to win this championship. It might be a slim chance, but it's a 50.7 in the second sector. That is only just a little bit off Jay's time on the worn softs of 1 lap softs, by the way. But he's going to come across the line. It's going to be a very strong lap, and what a lap by Low Lion there. Didn't even realise, very close to Jay's time, but he does get stopped, and that's a brilliant lap by Josh. But still a little bit off the pace of James. But of course, those 2 lap old softs are doing him well currently, and that should be him through to Q2. And same with Low Lion, to be honest. He might be able to interfere with something here, but then Jack couldn't quite see his second sector time, but he's on the mediums, so it will not really matter. Advantage giving him a toe in Q1. I'm not too sure why he's doing that. I think he has a little crush on Jack, I can't lie. He seems to always love giving toes and stuff to Jack, but it's still not even good enough to beat only just his time, about a 10th up on Vantage's time. So maybe the mediums are not the favourable tyre, which is why you want to be starting on the soft compound. Maybe there'll be some alternate strategies for Toxic to sway, as Instinct Body goes P6 faster just than Vantage. Toxic to sway though in a little bit of a dangerous area. He's down in P10. I think he can do better on that lap though as well, as Treeburner has retired from the session in the pit lane, and Cardei has to beat a 189 around Brazil, and then Treeburner will be starting from last on the grid here in Q1. Treeburner is very, very confident in his skills and abilities. Toxic to Swee also retires. He's got to beat a 1.8 flat. So do the cars behind Toxic to Swee. I think everybody's pretty comfortable where they are now. Even New Berlin's comfortable now. So Cardei can do something here, but he can't do much because he's into the wall already. And he is on an outlap, and James Biscuit retires from the session. Norwich fan probably needs to retire, but I don't know what he's doing. Still out on the soft compound tyre. Was trying to go again. Did he spin? I don't really know. I think he might have spun as Jack retires from this session. Extinct Body again into the pits. Now, what has happened to the Alpine driver? I think he spun, trying to go for another lap. Maybe he thought he messed up a little bit, as Vantage then again out for another lap on these softs after giving a toe to Jack. He goes out for another lap. This is 16.8 in the first sector with 74 milliseconds up on his lap. He goes wide and validates on his lap time there. Currently on a lap as well, Opex Finley 4.5 tenths up on his lap time. This could put him into the mix a little bit for a P5 or a P6 in Q3, but in Q1 we don't actually know, as this puts him across the line in a P6, as I was right as Vantage obviously invalidated his lap time. Cardei enters the pit lane again. Mr. Monkey is not safe, he feels, and he needs to come out again, even though he is 1000% safe, because 2 people beneath him can't even go for laps again, so he is 1000% safe. So I don't know why he feels need to go out again. Here in Q1, James is topped with the timesheets, unless Josh can do anything about that. As he enters the pit lane, is he going to retire? Because the top 5 will all be retired. There's Low Lion looking very strong around the Brazilian track. P4 currently, only just, you could say he's ahead of Jack because Jack was on the mediums, but he's only 5 or 6 hundredths away from championship contenders. So he could play a big part here, and so could Toxic to Sweet. I know he's strung up around Brazil, but I'm not sure if this is his full showing, as he's down in P11, as Josh does retire from the pit lane, making it a top 5 of retirees. Commandment Coco coming out for an outlap then. Mr. Monkey coming out for an outlap as well. So is the Monster Muncher. So is Cardei coming out again, as he spun on his outlap last time. He needs to be a 189 to get out of Q1. Unless he crashes, of course. And then that means that he's out anyway. So he wants to get out of Q1, wants to get into Q2. Cardei, has he got the ability? I'm sure he does. Mr. Monkey then starting us up with a 16.8 in the first sector. Isn't improving on his current lap time. This might be a one set of softs as he goes off the track. Almost spins, but it's a nice save from him. And has to have bought that lap time. And if it was a fresh set of softs, he would be wasting a set of soft tyres for no reason there. And the Monster Muncher then on a lap time in the Ferrari. You can see the Aston Martin ahead of him. Is he going to get impeded by the Aston Martin? Aston Martin seems to be going very slow, Mr. Monkey there, but Monster Monkey will not care. He will continue on his lap time. Can he get a 5/10 in this lap time to try and interfere with the top 5? I highly doubt it, I'm not going to lie, but the Monster Muncher then in the second sector, improving by 2/10. It says it's purple. A 50.9 is not the purple second sector that I had written down, but that lap is done anyway because he lit up the rear tyres and spun the car around. So yeah, that's that. For that, Commandment Coco then in the first sector is 11 hundredths up on his lap time, 16.7. That is not the fastest sector in Q1. Mr. Monkey wants to go out again. I don't know why, but Carday is the man that needs to beat Tree Burner in the first and second and the third sector to kick him out of qualifying 1 here. 52.2 in the second sector for Carday. He's going to come across the line. This probably will most likely be his last lap and last chance to get out of Q1. A 1:89 is the time to beat. It's looking close. He's going to come across the line, and he is not only just going to beat that lap time by about 1/10 of a second. He can try and get back to the pit lane, get a fresh set of softs on, try and improve that lap time as much as he can. But Tree Burner is on the edge of his seat currently, thinking, have I made the right decision? Am I going to be out of qualifying 1, which is not exactly what you would want for the time being. As we've got a few Josh supporters in the chat, CNN TK saying come on Josh, F1 Leo saying come on Josh, Josh himself saying come on let's win this, and yeah. God, is that 3/10 up on his lap time in the first sector? Because if it is, then he is on track to kick out Tree Burner. If he's still on this lap time, which he is, which is a 51.6 in the second sector, 6/10 up on his lap time, Tree Burner might have made a massive mistake here as Carday him out of Q1. He's going to come across the line, taking a short run, not the shortest, and he is going to take out Tree Burner. Moving up to P14, Tree Burner is out of Q1, and Carday is into Q2. And with that, everybody's into Q2 now. I don't know why Mr. Monkey keeps going for laps. I don't know why he keeps trying to go for laps. He doesn't need to go for laps. I'm not quite sure why he's done that. Commandment Coco also needs to go for laps. Extinct Body and the Monster Munch can retire from this session. So Carday is going extra slow. 7 people in the live. Thank you very much for this season finale with a 4-way championship fight unfolding here today. It's the Monster Munch who does retire from the session. We only got 4 drivers that are able to go for laps. One is P7, the other 3 are 12th, 13th and 14th, all out on the track at this current moment in time. Commandment Coco again, seems like he's pushing, same with Mr. Monkey, and not with Carday, definitely not with Carday, he's not pushing on a lap. I don't know why these two are staying out, because we've only got 2 minutes left in this session that remain. But yeah, that top 5 looking quite close, apart from obviously the medium runners, as Mr. Monkey gets distracted, goes off the track after Commandment Coco and Validating trying to move out the way, both of them having a carnage, and if they both stay out again, I think we need to ban them forever, because what are they doing? Go into the pit lane and retire the car. You don't need to do laps, please. They seem to both be backing off, waiting to go for more laps. Commandment Coco, I don't know what's going on. And Commandment Coco is going to enter the pit lane. Mr. Monkey is going to carry on. I don't believe it. Why is he carrying on? Only driver out on the track. He's been out on this set of softs. Is he just locked up? Has he got ABS on? What a donut. Is he spun round, almost entering the wall there? And I don't want to be that guy. 8 laps he's been out on these soft tyres for. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Carday retires from this session. Still remaining to try and go for laps then on these 8-lap-old soft tyres. I don't really know why he's doing that, but I guess he is, so that's the end of that. Hold on a second. Right then, there's the order. Currently the top 4, we're separated by 0.2 of a second. James Biscuit top on the timesheets by quite a margin though, 1.5 tenths, but from that point downwards, separated by hardly anything. As who is going to win the championship this season? It's going to be very interesting to see. I am yawning, I don't know why. And then Drivers' Championship. I just want to get the race underway, or I want to get Q3 underway. This is some differing strategies to see what's going to happen. Are they going to go long in the race to try and defend for their teammates? That's what I've been hearing. For the Toxic Just Sweet, that's what I've been hearing he's going to do. I've been hearing that's what Advantage is going to do. But the quali laps, obviously a tow might be needed to get you that pole position. With the way how close this is, it might be a tow that might be the way this is currently for them. As here comes Jay exiting the pit lane as soon as possible, getting out on the lap on the medium tyres. Is he going to go for the mediums as well? Because this will not work for the Alpine driver Toxic Speed, who's going to go long and defend for his teammate. If the Red Bulls start on the mediums and start ahead of him in Q3, it could be looking ropey for that strategy. That's all I can imagine is what's going on currently in the minds of the Red Bull drivers. We're going to have a look. I don't think Jack will be. Jack and Jay are on alternating strategies, and I am right, because he has got the red wall striped tyres on his car. As you can see there, the soft compound is on his car. Toxic Sui in the pit lane. James is coming out for a lap as well now. Who is going to win? Who is leading the championship? Not who's going to win the championship. He is leading the championship. Has the biggest chance of winning the championship because he could be in P3. And there's a way of him winning the championship from P3, so he's got a very big chance of winning it today. If he doesn't win it, it could be a little bit of a bottle job, you would say. So, yeah. Don't know why I'm looking at Mr. Monkey, because Advantage is out, Jack is out, Leo Lyon is out behind Jack on the medium tyres. I think he's trying to let him pass, but Leo is not budging. He is budging now. They almost make contact, I think, there, as they're weaving away. I don't know what he's doing there, as Josh again staying in the pit lane, being reluctant to come out early, as Jay validates and almost spins. He does almost spin it. Oh, the curb there almost sent him into the wall. That would have been dangerous for him in his bid to win the championship. He'd have to go for a massive charge, as somebody who has spun is again Mr. Monkey. That's Monkey again spinning on those soft compound tyres, and they look pretty bad in my opinion. As Toxic Speed, is that Toxic Speed coming out, or is that Championship Hunter of Norwich Fan? It is Toxic Speed coming out as Jack on a lap. Then didn't get to see his first sector time because I haven't even turned it on yet, but we'll find that out later on. It'll be more important in Q3 anyway, as though Lion on the medium compounder tyre, looking quite strong, but somebody who probably is going to be the strongest on the medium compounder tyre is Jay, who is going to go for another lap, as Apex Finley on the softs goes to 1.8, backing off massively there. As Commandment Coco as well. Jay beginning another lap. James on the mediums. This is not working very well for Toxic Sweet, who's out on the softs So this is interesting. Is he going to try and go for a massively big undercut to try and defend? I'm not sure how much that will work. But yeah. The top 6 could be separated by not much at all. As a 1.8.1 on the medium compound tyre, 1.69 on the softs for Jack. That is oof, I think that's untouchable. But clearly not. Actually, I don't actually remember the times from last time. I think they did do faster than that in Q1. Sorry, so I don't actually know. Kind of forgot already, as James with a 1.8.5 on the medium tyres. That will not be getting him through as he invalidates his lap time yet again. As Jay then with a 51.3, which is purple apparently in the second sector. It wasn't in the first runs in Q1, but it might be in Q2 on the medium tyres. But can he go past his teammate in P1 with a 1.6.9? That is impossible at this point, but it is second fastest with a 1.8 flat. Leo Lyon only a little bit further back, so he could be a big contender for a podium position today. Total Speed with a 16.5 in the first sector. That could be purple, I don't know, but I'm going to assume it's not. I'm going to assume that it's very close. Josh out on the softs as well. Both Alpines going for a soft strategy, soft to medium, I'm going to guess. There is Josh, and there is James impeding the lap, almost sending Total Speed out completely of this. That was a close one, as James, I'm guessing, is charging up for a lap. Oof. That James enters the pit lane. Josh continues on to go for a lap. The chaser of the championship almost had his teammate crash out of Q1 due to the championship leader. So that was almost very juicy, as Josh has already backed out of his lap because of a mistake in turn 1. If Toxic Sweet is going to go again, it won't hinder him too much. It will hinder that lap time, but yeah, almost he flew off into the wall there, and that could have cost him a lot of lap time as he's leading. Now I think that's F1 Lucas passed. Yes it is, as I need to go off board more. I keep forgetting to do that, as well, I mean, I get one of those camera angles when I go off board. As what's going on here? Josh has just gone into the wall. What is going on? I'm so confused. He's almost gone spinning off into the grass again, into the barrier. What is going on with the championship? Well, the league owner, what is going on with him right now? He just doesn't look himself. Has he got damage? I'm going to guess he does, because I mean, he's pretty heavy hit against the wall, and he started driving into the wall. So I'm quite confused. Is that an AlphaTauri round? I don't know. I don't think it is, as no championship contenders are out on a lap currently. Mr. Monkey though, saw him go for 8 laps in Q1. Invalidates again on his lap in Q2 on the soft compound tyre. Oh, how many laps is he going to do on this? His extinct body, didn't even realise. Goes second fastest, obviously on the softs, still quite close to the medium runners behind him, but that's a good lap, but they're 1.8 flat. But have I just realised something? Hold on a minute, how have I 1 second back? Oh, phew. That's going to be something to beat for the drivers. Jack looks the strongest to win the championship, but yeah, Jay then coming out on the soft compound tyre. I don't think he wants to start on the medium, so maybe he just wants to try and prove his pace against Jack. I wonder what's going on there, but yeah. Olympics Finley also out on the mediums. He's not up on his time so far. Hold on a minute, I need to this is not up on his 1.88 so far, meaning he's going to have to improve his car. Dave's they're coming across the line on the mediums as well. Yep, as he does improve actually with a 1.83, moving up to P8. He's currently through on those tyres, but of course Toxic Sweet and James might have something to say about that. Actually all the 3 that are behind him are all on laps currently. as a card day invalidated, and again Monster Muncher then wants to secure a spot in Q3. Sorry, he's not going to do that currently with this lap because he is facing the wrong direction as Mr. Monkey goes P11 with his lap time, quite close to James. Well, of course, James 16.6 in the first sector. It's a purple first sector. He's 0.3 up on his current lap time, which already puts him P6. And if he can improve the whole lap round, he might be able to go into P1. Of course, he's now directly on the same compound tyre as Jack was, so we're going to see the real pace advantage that Jack has going in to Q3. But if he comes second place and Jack wins, he does win the championship, so he can just sit back in the DRS and just calm himself down, as Apex Finley is not going to impede him like he impeded, but a 1.2 seconds up could improve him enough going through this final non-braking zone corner, taking the tightest line to the line. And he's going to come across the line. Is it faster? No, it's 0.2 off. The fastest man on the track currently, well, not on the track currently, but fastest man is Jack. Second fastest was James. Now it's Jay who goes with a 1:07.0. So it's still close at the top, but I mean, Jack, first person to break, I think, into the 1.6s in this qualifying session, as Toxic Sweet also 1.2 seconds up on his lap. This will kick the Monster Muncher out, and he goes up to P3 again, very close at the top there. James topped the timesheets by 1.5 tenths in Q1. He is now behind by more than 1.5 tenths of the top of the timesheets in Q2 then. So Extinct Body on that outlap. Can he go any faster? Try catch up that 9 tenths to other drivers ahead of him, as I forgot actually, no, it's fine. On the lap, he's going to come across the line. Where's it's going to put him? It's going to have to put him quite lofty. It's a 1:11 and it was invalid, so luckily for him, he'll be able to have the time to go again. He's looking quite shaky over Q2 here for Norwich fan. He's going to have 4 minutes and 30 seconds to complete a lap here in Interlagos, the anti-clockwise circuit. He needs to put in a good enough lap time here to make sure. And by the way, incident reports are now already open, so could we see a grid penalty for impeding lap times? I don't really know. Here we are then, coming through the second sector. 50.5. Jay then might be offering a little tow, but Toxic Sui will be offering a tow, and it's going to be a big one. He pulls over to the right hand side. It's not as big as he wanted it to be. Toxic Sui's round. Could he be out of the session? No, he's not. But he got onto the throttle too early as Josh goes P5 4 thousandths away from James Biscuit. And that was interesting. He had a little spin. Does he have a front wing? I can't see currently, but you can't give grid penalties if there isn't a lobby restart. Probably a time pen, I know, but if they give a lobby restart to give grid pens, I'm sure that they will do that if they have to. This is what I'm saying. But I already knew that, so thanks. What's the title fight, says Liam Hater. So we've got Skip Butties. I'll tell you it again. We'll go through the points. We've got the championship leader currently is James Biscuit, who's in P4 currently right now on the soft compound tyre on 128 points. Jay is in second, that is due up Baboon Jay in P2, is in P2 in the championship with 124 points. 1 point behind him is Josh, the man right here in the Alpine, 123 points. Jack then, also the fourth driver being involved in this, looking the most comfortable, but he has to have a good result compared to James, Jay and Josh, because they can all finish P2 and win the championship, so he has to make them finish P3. But James can win from P3, so he needs James to finish P4 or below, Jay to finish P3 or below, and Josh to finish P2 without the fastest lap is what Jack needs to win the championship with 116 points there. And Jay just needs to win the race and he can win the championship, and everyone's looking quite strong, but maybe not as strong as Jack is currently, with a 1.6 1:09. Only one to break into the 1:06s so far. As Leo out again. Can't start on his medium tyres. He's only 2,000 safe from New Berlin, who is into the grass currently, actually, which I didn't know. But he is into the grass. And Leo on an out lap. He needs to make sure, as Night Fan retires, it's a whole top 5 retiring again. 5 tenths clear of Extinct Body, who was, of course, on the softs. Low Lion needs to get this soft lap in because he clearly isn't fast enough on those medium tyres. F1 Lucas thinks he's comfortable, even though Leo is probably going to improve. Cardet needs to improve only a little bit on his lap time to be able to get through that. Not get through, but kick out F1 Lucas. As Apex Finney can definitely improve. Mr. Monkey might be able to improve. New Berlin can improve by at least 0.02 of a second. Is Leo Lion already missing the apexes of the first corner, almost invalidating on the second as Karem has joined the lobby. Vantage retires from the session in P7 as Leo comes through the first sector with a 16.7. He's up on his lap time, maybe not as much as he thought he would have been, but that is okay by his standards. That's all he wants to do, is just get through to Q3, try and impede the leaders, because he obviously wants Josh to win this championship in his own league. Didn't think that he would be rooting for Josh. I think he'd be rooting for somebody else, but that is fine. He is rooting for Josh, and that's all that matters currently for him, as his teammate is up into P6. He did improve like I said he would. Leo is now down to P12, and if F1 Lucas, if Leo doesn't improve his lap time by enough, which he is going to, F1 Lucas is about to be out of the session. Leo is going to cross the line. He's going to put in a 1:7.8. Oh, that is a slow lap time from him. That's going to be the last lap possible. F1 Lucas is out, and if New Berlin can improve by 3 tenths on his lap time, which he can't because Commandment Coco has swiped across him. What is going on there? Both McLaren drivers just destroying each other's lap times. So I think the McLarens are both out then, moving Vantage luckily through, Leo luckily through, and Monster Muncher is through on that lap as well. Commandment Coco signing from P15 on the grid, with Treeburner P16. And why is the Monster Muncher staying out? Why are you retiring? Get into the pits and then retire, like, please. Anyway, Leo retires in P9. Maybe not as strong as I thought he was, but that might just have been an easy banker lap. Maybe he wasn't pushing at all to make sure that he got the lap in time for the checkered flag to go. Apex Finley in the pit lane, so is Kyle Day, and New Berlin is ruining his tyres, but doesn't matter because he's going to get a free choice down in 13th place for now then, as there's another McLaren off, but I think that was just pulling over to the side, as New Berlin, Kyle Day is the final person to enter the pit lane. As soon as he enters that pit box, Q2 will be over and we'll be on to the top 10 shootout then. Apparently not. Apparently yes, there we go. They are through to Q3. I'm going to show you the top 10. I'm going to go for about 20 seconds. Okay then, Q3, this is where it all matters. All the laps that they've been doing just to get them through to this top 10 shootout, where we're going to have a top 6 or a top 5 that are extremely close on lap times. So it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to take pole position. Skip Butties has 7 poles this season. Barenko needs to shush because nobody finds him funny. And actually, if I switch over, oh, I actually am. I already am on this one. So, Barenko, mate, how'd you feel? It's glitching. I'm gonna put use it in timeout. Anyway, I don't know how to take you out. That was a joke. Calm down. Look at this then. They're already clumping up in turn 4. As Jay takes the lead of that pack with I think that's Leo or somebody right behind him. No, it's Apex Finley right behind him as he breaks suddenly, and Leo then has to go off to try and take avoiding action. What is going on? There's a car park already here. James is right behind that as well with actually I think that's Norwich fan behind, and everybody's bunching up here already in the first sector, middle sector, sorry. And Kramer's left the session waiting probably 10 minutes. I thought it was just sweet everybody out on a lap on their current out laps. I'm gonna have to go apologise to Barenko quickly because I'm sorry. And as first one to start their lap is Leo Lyon, and then his teammate Apex Finley in the AlphaTauri, the Williams driver. Then I think that is Vantage going to start his lap time next, then Jack's going to start his lap time, then Jay's going to start his lap time, following close behind his extinct body, trying to get a cheeky little toe, and then Notch Van. Then it will be the Monster Muncher, and then after that will be James, then Toxic Sweet will be starting his lap time last. But the first man out so far was Low Lion, but although I really care about is the sector times, as I need to get it up quickly because the first sector time is 16.6 for Jack. Jay then, I can't, you're so far apart, man. 16.574 in the first sector. I've got to note this down quickly. 16.5 in the first sector, 16.567 in the first sector is the time to beat currently, as Jack then wants to come through the second sector next. Is he going to be receiving a toe in this first lap of Q1, Q3? I think Vantage is trying to, as it's a 50.4 in the second sector. As Leo goes faster with a 17.5, that will sure be beaten by his teammate Apex Finley, who goes faster by that time. Vantage then with a 17.3. Jack with a 169, still the only driver to get the 1.6s, but that's been beaten by his teammate who's on provisional pole position for now, as James then will come across the line as well. Where's this going to put him? Is it going to put him into the 1.6s as well? I think it will, as he comes across the line. So 17.1, he's way off the pace currently in real terms, and so just Sweet is going to come across the line with a 1.6.9, provisional pole position for the Alpine driver. Wow. I think he was getting a toe from Josh though. He's on provisional pole. It's very small margins, but that could be what puts him on pole position there, with a fastest lap time currently of a 1.93 overall the whole lap. That was surprising, to say the least, I'd say. As yeah, Alpines helping each other out. That will be the opposite way around, of course, later on. But we had only one driver from the 1.9s, the 1.6s, the whole qualifying session. We now have got 3 drivers at once on their first laps of Q3. They're all going to be, of course, in. Currently is Josh going purple in the second sector, looking quite strong currently. Can this put him into the top 3? Can it break him into the 1.6s? Josh then hunting down this championship in his own league. It's going to come across the line. Is it fast enough for the 1.6 for 1.6s? No, it's not, but it's faster than James currently in a P4 position. He will probably be receiving a toe in the next lap that he does though, so he could be on for a surprise pole position here, but at the moment it's Alpine on the upper hand and Josh really on the upper hand, with possible chances for Ruben to do something off the start line then, but we know that Jack is quite good at starts, and the gap between him and his teammates, and then his teammate and what do you call it? Did you see the McLaren? Other McLaren? Yes, I did see the other McLaren. As Josh then is going to go for another consecutive lap. It looks like he's going to do it. As Brian was not very happy. That was Commandment Coco. Wasn't very happy with New Berlin and his antics that was going on right at the end of Q2. That kind of ruined their chances. Norwich fan is 500 up on his lap time in the first sector. It's a purple first sector for him. He's looking quite strong even without this tow that he might be given by his teammate towards the end of Q3. It's 5 minutes and then 30 seconds left in the session. Josh looking quite strong through the first sector. Can he continue that throughout the whole lap though? That is the real question. Can he continue that throughout the whole race? Try and keep the raging Red Bulls behind him, as he needs to put in a good second sector, because then it all comes down to just racing towards the line, as he's going to go, not purple, but it's 400 up on his lap time. This could be enough. If he can get a better exit off this corner, he might be into the 1.6s, and if he gets into the 1.6s, he's backed off. So see, I think he lost time in the last corner, so maybe the fresh sauce might be able to get him into the 1.6s, but I'm not too sure. He was 2/10 off his personal best in his time trial laps, and this is not 2/10 off. This is a lot more than 2/10 off his personal best. As Leo then on a lap 2/10 up on his current lap time. This will not put him close enough to the front to interfere, but starting on a soft compound tyre as well, it's going to look quite ropey for him if he can't put a good lap in next time, because he's going to have to zoom back to the pit lane and get out again. But he puts in P6 just behind the championship leader currently. He can't finish P5 though, so he needs to put in a better lap time than that, as Extinct Body then invalidates on his lap time, and I think he's only going to get one lap in Q3, Extinct Body, but we know he's got pace. And where is that pace going to go? If he invalidates his lap times, it's going to go nowhere. So he needs to improve in this qualifying 3 session, as we now put the eyes on the Red Bull drivers, who are both going to come out at the same time. I think that's an Alpine as well coming out of the pit lane. No, it's not. It's a Williams Advantage who's going to give Jack a tow. But you already knew that was going to happen. But he's probably going to try and give them both a tow at the same time. As Vantage leaves the session, that might be our lag out for him, and that might ruin the chance of a tow for Jack. Then, actually no, he's just teleported back to the pit lane, so that's lucky for him, as the Monster Munch, not the Monster Munch, right, Extinct Body, still on the lap time, has to overtake both Red Bulls coming up to turn 4, so Red Bulls are staying quite close together, as now Jay is now backing off, as championship leader coming out again for another lap. As Leoline enters the pit lane, he's going to go out for another lap, I'm sure. How many fresh sets of softs does he have? I think he's got another fresh set, but he's put in a better lap time than his current one if he wants to be challenging for the top and the podium places here. The start is going to be the most interesting part of the race, unless it's a safety cars restart, or what happens with the pit stops and stuff like that, because they just need to get a good start off the line. Don't want to be behind people you don't want to be behind. Like Norwich fans want to be put behind Vantage off the start, because he'll be defending for his friend of Jack, who starts a lap, and Jay, who starts a lap quite closely behind him. Can he be in dirty air for this lap? As Jay invalidates already on the exit there, so he can stay on board with Jack for this entire lap as he comes through the first sector. It's a 16.6 in the first sector. There's a stricken Alfa Romeo in the road, just waiting to find a spot to come out, as we're going to go on board with the Monster Muncher there, and he can't quite get to see what's happening to him. But Jack wants to improve. He wants to get ahead of Toxic Sui, because Toxic Sui is going to be trying his hardest to defend for Norwich fan. It's just a massive loop of teammates defending, people defending for the championship leaders and the championship rivals of the 4 people then. Jack then coming through the second sector, 50.2, 2 things up on his lap. That puts him with a very almost unbeatable lap time. And what's going to happen? This might be his last lap, last chance to take pole position. It's going to be provisional pole, but what's the lap time? It's a 1:67. That's going to be a time to beat for the chasing pack, as Jay obviously invalidating his lap time. And if the yellow flags can stop coming out for that AlphaTauri, please. 1 minute and 15 left. He's going to have to crawl round on his lap time. He's going to have to get out of the way of his teammate, actually, who's receiving a tow, I think, as he's now gone 14 hundredths up in his first, on his first lap, as Jack has retired from the session. That is his last lap. Can anybody steal pole position away from him? Can he take this 8th pole, or can they all get their first one in GWF Season 1? James then starting a lap, thinking invalidated. They're all going to be on worn tyres, but Josh then has to back off of Leo, because Leo might have had a bit of a moment there that has not helped him out. He's not even on a lap yet, so I don't know why he's trying to give him a tow. But Jay has messed up on his lap time. He's going to have to get across the line and start a new one, as Jay has had to retire from the session. He cannot get better than a P3, so Toxic Sui is starting ahead of one of the Red Bulls at least. So that could help out massively, as Leo is giving a tow now to Norwich fan. How much is this going to help him throughout the first sector? He pulls over to the side of the track. It's a purple first sector. He's a 10th up on his lap time. He needs to improve by about 5 tenths though to get even close to that lap time of Jack. It might be Jack on pole, but James is starting from P5 or lower. He can't get a lap in, so this is perfect for Josh, surely, starting ahead of them. And if he can improve by enough, he might be able to get into P3. But Ruben wants to try and disrupt that pole position, and he's going to be able to, surely, with a 1.5 tenths up on his lap time. Can he take pole position here? It's going to be a close one to the line, but Josh then 3 tenths up on his lap. He's got a big chance of taking pole position here, but his teammate wants to disrupt that straight away, making a 1-2 for Alpine. He's coming across the line. It's provisional pole position. Can his teammate dislodge that? Can Norwich fan take pole? Yes, he can. He's on pole. Alpine 1 and 2 in qualifying, and is so close at the top, but they've done it. Alpine taking 1 and 2 away from Red Bull. That makes the constructors interesting, and Josh is on pole position, and his biggest rivals are down in P3, 4 and 5. Wow. Wow. Well then, as you can see, Alpine 1 and 2, Red Bull 3 and 4, Apex Finley P5, James Biscuit is actually in P6. The championship leaders had an absolutely horrible qualifying session. Leo in P7, Vantage in P8, Monster Muncher in P9, Extinct Body in P10. This is going to be a brilliant race start, as the Red Bulls are getting a bit salty in the Discord. Oh wow, what a lap from the Alpine drivers, as Sanan TK says yes, Josh, as he is happy about that. And it's going to be an interesting race start. I'm glad I can commentate on it, because they're going to go to formation lap and then 5 red lights for the final time of the season. I'll be lights out and away they will go to fight for the championship in GWF Championship. Well then, I am nervous for them. Josh will be shaking a lot right now. He's taking pole position. As of course it's a formation lap at first, as the Alpines get away in a 1 and 2 position. He's going to try and defend Touches' speed, but if he gets a better start than Norwich fan, he's going to have to go on the inside of him and let him pass, probably on the way to turn 4, and then start defending from that point onwards. But the charge will be on for Jay and Jack to win this championship. Wow. But Karem is then 3 people have already just collided into the formation lap, as Karem is in P17. And yeah, 36 laps then. Norwich fan then, this predicted pit stop strategy is soft to hards. Are they going to try and go for soft to mediums? It's going to be very, very close off the start of this lap, as oh my god, Vantage is very far back. From the pack. They're going to have to back them off massively now, because the Red Bulls are going slow as well. And when are the AIs going to take over? I think it's now. AIs have taken over. And luckily for the Red Bulls, they can't. But oh, Jay is round on the formation lap. Is that a play to warm his tyres? What's the situation here? And Vantage is very far back currently on this lap, as everyone's going very slow. As a Vantage might have caused a massive server glitch here, as we're going to have to wait for him to catch the pack. As here they are then. Going to be a massive race start here. Could determine the championship. And there's Vantage in the background, the last to line up on the grid in his P8 grid slot, which is right behind James Biscuit in the Williams car. And Alpine, I haven't need to say this enough, Alpine is 1 and 2 for this race. Tyres are going to be cold. But here we go then, to 5 red lights, to the Brazilian Grand Prix, the finale of GWF. And it's lights out and away we go. And Touches didn't get the greatest getaway, but Jay did, as Josh is going to defend the inside line. Can he keep it into turn 1? As Josh Rubens got involved, and Josh keeps the lead into turn 1, and Jay has got his way up and nicely up into Jack is up into P2 straight away, but Touches is going to go round his outside. He's going to try and defend, but he has a little bit of contact with the Red Bull driver, and he's going to keep it going. But Jay is now on his inside. He's going to have to try and defend. He gets pushed off the track and goes wide and spins around as a consequence. And Alpine have had another great start for the team, but their driver has had a brilliant start, as Touches is round. But then Jack is going to be hunting down Josh, but as it stands currently, Josh is the championship winner, with Jay in P3 and Jack in P2. But how long will that last for? Because we know that Josh likes to deploy quite a lot, but what is the gap? We'll find out in a minute. James, I think that is up into P4 already, with Leo down into a very low position there. Look at that. But across the line goes Josh, as Vantage gets disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. And is there going to be a safety car for that? I'm not too sure. As Norwich fan leads by 0.3 of a second from both cars there. The dirty air is, you can see there, being blown off the back, as the top 4 in the championship are all separated by about 1.3, 1.4 seconds here. Monster Munch is falling back a lot. That was what we were expecting. Yeah, Toxic Sweet down in P13. He's have to make a massive charge to get back up. With Mr. Monkey now gets past Tree Burner, and that's a brilliant start from the Alfa Romeo driver up to P9. He might have been relegated one position there, but he started P17. As I think Low Line has a bit of damage. I think he did. He has to make a pit stop already, but Josh is receiving a lot of pressure from Jack, and this might be heartbreaking news for him, because if the fast lap gets taken away, I don't see him getting it back, and if the fast pace gets taken away, I don't see him getting it back. So it's going to be very interesting how this race is going to pan out with that spin from Toxic Sweet, who makes him down in P13 already, as they come across the line. Then the gap is 0.3 of a second. This James Biscuit, Apex Finley, sorry, gets the fastest lap of the session so far, with DRS being enabled right away. And they're going to get it on the run down to turn 4. He's going to be deploying all he's got to get down here, and he's going to be braking comfortably now. No, he's not actually, but because Jack was looking for a possible move down the inside. As I'm going to turn on the telemetry here just to see, and the gap to the leader currently is 0.8 of a second separates the top 4. 76% ERS, 80%, 90%, and 80% as well. Down it goes, but the Monster Muncher's clinging on to this pack quite easily with the defending of the Alpine, but he's going to do all to do by himself down this next straight, because we had that spin with Jay. I didn't see anything wrong with it, but Jack is right on the back as his yellow flags in sector 2. I think that is Commandment Coco who's gone round, but we've got to stay on board with this, because DRS flap is going to be open for Jack. They're deploying ERS all the way down the straight, but currently now Jack is going to be side by side. He's going to get past him by the braking zone. Yes, he is. He's into the lead of the race, and Jay might be a bit under pressure here, but can Josh get him down into turn 4? It's a little bit of a moment that might ruin it already, because the championship lead is slipping out of his hands, and he's not going to have enough. And if Jack can pull away from him, I think he might be okay for the rest of this race. 50% ERS is what they're both on currently, but Jay is looking the most comfortable on his ERS levels currently, and look at that, 33% and 33% for 5th and 6th place, as Toxic Sweet is making his way up to P10 already to try and help out his teammate, but I'm not sure how long he can do that for, as Josh cannot keep this gap. The gap is constantly getting bigger from him to Jack, so he's going to get the DRS on this next straight, but that's what he's going to be clinging on to, as Toxic Sweet is past Max Treebanner there. He's now got a 1.5 second gap to catch up, but the DRS he is in with now, and he's going to open the DRS flap. This is protecting him from Jay, but not only that, it's pulling him towards Jack, which this might help him out into the next DRS zone, which is immediately after this. Just cautious to get a warning, of course, it could come down to penalties. The gap is 5/10. Is that close enough as Apex Finley gets a penalty on lap 5 of this race? For multiple warnings already, as he can't get close enough to Jack. But the Monster Muncher is very close still to this leading pack. Can he make a difference in front of the DRS zones? But he's only got 20% ERS already. His ERS levels are very low compared to the front of the field. But Jack is trying to just pull away that gap as much as he possibly can. And Leo has retired in the pit lane, and it's a virtual safety car for some reason. What is happening there? The ESC slows out the race completely, but for Jack, this also helps out the tyres. I'm not too sure why there's been a virtual safety car called, because he's in the pit lane and he's stuck there now. He can't come out, and Vantage is not very happy about the glitch that he encountered, which got him disqualified from the race. But when is this virtual safety car going to go? This helps recharge the ERS massively as well. A lot of people are already on 100%. And I think that's a spinner. Actually, boxing is Toxic Sweet to get onto the medium tyres early. Try and go for an undercutting move, possibly. On the driver's ahead, it's now gone green, and he's lost time already to him. And this is the second sector where he loses the time. And this is where he loses the most time. Can he gap the DRS? It's going to be very close, as he's none of them are deploying ERS. It's just surprising. He's out of that 1 second gap. What is this going to do for the race ahead? He's not going to get the DRS, and that, it might be the end of this little train, because he can't get the DRS. Can he get it on this next straight? He's deploying all he's got to try and get it on this next straight, as Jay is really catching him. Can it be Alpine 1 and 2 in qualifying to a Red Bull 1 and 2 in the race by lap 7? DRS then, flap opening for both of them, and I don't think that the move is going to happen into turn 4, but he is gaining quite considerably as well. Is he going to go down the inside? He looks to make it, and he doesn't. He has to back out of the move. But James still obviously wants to win the championship. Right now, I don't think he can, with only gaining 12 points in the championship. And James just biding his time in Newburn, getting a 3 second penalty. Jay getting really close to the back of him there, but Josh has not been deploying as much as I thought he was, and he might get into the DRS here if he doesn't mess up, which he did mess up a little bit there, losing about a tenth of a second in that corner. And look how close Jay is already to the back of that Alpine, and the DRS is only open for one, and surely this can only mean one thing, as they go side by side, and it's not for long, as he's been flown past now, as Jay currently is winning the championship in P2, and Red Bull are winning the constructors with Tokyo down in P13. But this is a terrible start for the Alpines currently, as there's a Carday is round. Is it going to cause a safety car? I don't think it will, but we can get back on board with this, as Jay is already closed in enough to Jack. I think that's a tactical play to get them both in the DRS and make them pull away in the middle sector and make the race completely neutralised through the straights. So yellow flags again to sector 1. Don't really feel a need there, but that is Extinct Body who was round on the exit of the first few corners, getting overtaken by his teammate, I think, right now. They're going to be going side by side, but we need to stick on board with this one, as Jay is fallen 1.2 seconds back, and Josh is still right behind him. He's going to get DRS. Is he going to be going side by side into turn 1? As look at that for a camera angle, that is perfect. As there's more yellow flags, sector 2 to do with a McLaren is going defensive, but not defensive enough, as Josh is going to go down the inside, and he's going to get the move done again up into P2. And if he can get the fastest lap this current lap he's on, he'll be championship winner by the end of it. But Jay is going to come back at him now, down the inside as well. There's a similar move to the one before. He's got the move done before the braking zone, and Josh will not be very happy about that. But James is just biding his time currently, as that's New Berlin, who is in the wall quite considerably off the racetrack though, and he makes his way back on, and yeah, it's unfortunate for the McLaren driver. Distant Body makes a pit stop, as Josh though and James within 4/10 of the drivers ahead of them, and wow, James is getting so close for the braking zones. He wants to get past Josh as soon as possible, but it might just be a case there's going to be back and forth for the rest of the race, which will allow Jack to pull away and win the championship. This is easier than I think he first thought. Yellow flag sector 3 again. I'm not sure who's round this time, but it won't matter to me, because Josh is going to this time try it round the outside of Jay. And James sits the wheel up the inside, and James has made a double overtake up into P2, as Jay has got a 3 second penalty, and that could define a whole race. But coming out the pit lane, right in the mix of that, is Monster Muncher actually. What? Quite confused how that's happened there, but James is going to be loving this move, because he's trying to go and fit it round the outside of the Alpine driver. This is where they lost touch, as Apex Finley retires in the pit lane, but keeping it side by side for the next few chains of corners is Norwich Fan and Jay, and if Jay can get past him here, this could be crucial for the race. But Josh is just keeping it there, and luckily for him, they make a bit of contact on the rear there, and Josh keeps the position. It's brilliant racing there, but can he keep the DRS to James? Because James wants to hunt down, but currently James is the championship winner from the lead of the championship so far, from P6 up to P2, and it looks like he's going to keep that P2 for now, as who's going to pit first and go for an undercutting move. Monster Muncher though is only a second back with DRS though, and was brilliant from the Alpine and the Red Bull drivers, but unfortunately championships are going to Mercedes in the drivers, as there's an AlphaTauri who's retired off the side of the track down there, as you can see. Not going to cause any safety cars though, I hope. I think everybody hopes, because they'll make a free pit stop onto the mediums in this undercutting move from Toxic to Sweet. The pit lane here is about 20 seconds. The gap from Toxic to Sweet to the leader is 21 seconds, so if he can get in a little bit more, he might be going to be able to go for an undercutting move, but he could do it on James, and all that he wants is to try to get his teammate at that point the fastest lap of the race. Which is easier said than done, but you can give him DRS in both, if that's possible. Well, you can give him a toe at least in the second one if you can't give him DRS in the first. So, interesting race folding out so far as Jay, is past Norwich Van 7 way before the braking zone, and he might be able to launch an attack here. And Josh is going from pole position to 4th place. They thought it was all wrapped up, they thought it was done, but now he's going to have to stick with him through the second sector, which he's proved hard. He's proved that it's been hard for him to do that to Jack. Same with James, though, who's in 1.7 gap, 1.8 gap to the car ahead currently, and he looks very sorted now in that Red Bull seat of his. Looks perfectly fine to win this race, and this is a safety car that was to come. But what I thought was going to happen, which was going to be Leo defending and Vantage defending, they're both out the race currently. So Josh is down in P4. He doesn't win the championship, but James does win the championship. He's in second place with Jay behind him and Jack behind him in the championship, and he can just cruise through this race now, because of course Jay, with that 3-second penalty, doesn't put them on level terms anymore. He loses 3 seconds at the end of the race, which actually puts him behind the Monster Muncher, who is still up with this pack, as Lucas is now on P6. Toxic to Sweden up as Norwich Van goes into the pits, goes out of the pits, but going in is Jay and James, as Jay got the 3-second time penalty, 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as F1 Lucas is now up into P3. Can he do some defending, as Jay is right behind now James, but with an 8-second penalty on his name, unless he didn't try not to speed. Toxic to Sweet is going to come out ahead, surely now, of the Mercedes driver. Yes, he has. What an undercut there, and that saves Josh. Now he's 3 seconds behind the lead somehow. I'm not sure how that's happened. He's going to have to make a pit stop this lap, but now to hold up the drivers that were right on his rear end. But who's going to make a pit stop? Is Jack going to go into the pit lane? And as that Jack does enter the pit lane, doesn't speed, so does Josh, and Josh doesn't speed to make sure that is okay. But can Toxic to Sweet hold him back on these 1 medium tyres? He's led him through for trying to get DRS. I don't know if it's worked or not. This might leave him susceptible to Jay in behind. He's going to try and keep it side by side, but he can't. The only person he's going to go side by side with is Jay, down to the braking zone. They're holding each other up here, and Josh then is coming out the pit lane in all of this, behind all of them, even behind his teammate as well. He lost so much time on that lap. He's down to P6. His teammate will probably let him pass, but Jay then is going to go round the outside and enter where he can win the championship in P2. They're going to keep it side by side through turn 5. This is really hyping up towards the middle of this race, and Jay can keep the position going in to the bowl section, but James has to go down the inside and he just shuts it off, has a step of oversteer again, they're almost running each other constantly. He sticks their nose up the inside, but he can't get the move done. This might leave him to go down the inside. It's touches to Sui, makes a bit of contact, he waves his teammate through, and this is a brilliant teamwork here from the Alpine team, but he can't make the move stick. But down the inside of this next corner he might be able to go for it, and he hasn't. He's just laid off and stuck behind. And Leo could be quite annoyed about what's happened to him in this race, which has led him to retire the car. But here comes Josh, trying to fit it round the outside. He lifts off, but to go deeper into the corner, tries to go for a switchback move, a double switchback onto the next corner, can't quite make it stick. But Jay is almost getting away from the worn medium tyres of Ruben here. But Jack is loving life out in the lead. Can Lucas do anything to defend on these 15-lap-old softs to try and help out his teammate? I'm not sure if he can, to be honest. But Carday is now retired as well, I think, in the pit lane. But Josh then down into P2, and when Lucas pits, Jay will be the leader of the championship. It has gone from Josh leading the championship to Jay leading the championship, to Jack leading the championship, back down to James leading the championship, and back now to Jay leading the championship fight. But the fresher tyres, the fresher mediums towards the end of the race might help out Jack here to come across the line, and it will depend on what happens to Jay and stuff like that. But Jack does go fastest of all with a purple lap time of a 1:09.3, which James has gone down the inside actually of Ruben, and now this is an Alpine 1 and 2. It's an Alpine 5 and 6. I think he's going to wave his teammate through. He is going to wave his teammate through, and Josh now up to P5, and Jay is pulling away from James. Now this could shape up the championship here to being a Jay win and a Red Bull win, which not many people expected in their predictions. They said it was going to be Josh, Jack, or James. Not many people said Jay. Very minimal people actually said Red Bull. Most of them said it was going to be Alpine that were going to take the championship home with them. But currently, as I've said enough, it's a Red Bull 1 and 2 as it stands. But Lucas is doing his best to hold up the leader of the race so far. But Lucas is going to stay out here, and he's doing a great job actually of defending, but before the braking zone, giving him DRS to help with it, and he goes and he overtakes him, and there's a stricken McLaren in the middle of the road who spun. That will be New Berlin, or would it be Commandment Coco? No, it'll be New Berlin. And really is shaping up to be an interesting race here, as New Berlin getting in the way of a few of the leaders here, as Jack currently wins the championship, with Jay finishing in P3, I think. Yeah, that is right. But Lucas is going to have to make a pit stop at some point. Is he banking on a safety car to come? 13 drivers remaining in this race out of the 17 that started it. New Berlin getting a 3-second penalty, Extinct Body getting a 3-second penalty. But Josh really cannot fight this. He just can't quite catch up to the pack ahead. He can catch maybe, but I don't think he can pass them, especially with Jay being really severely almost harassed here by James with the DRS flap opening. The DRS was getting a bit shaky for everyone, and Lucas enters the pit lane, meaning Jay is our championship leader, but it switches over immediately to James, who is the championship leader now. And New Berlin retires from the session. Is that in the pits? I think it is in the pit lane. He's realised, but Jay then isn't going to stop fighting this one. He's going to go down the inside, cut across late, and I need to check actually. Does he take the lead of the championship with that move? If James gets the fastest lap now, he wins the championship, but otherwise he needs to overtake Jay ahead of him, which means Jay is the championship winner so far. But that 3-second penalty could come back to bite him at the end of the race, and I think it will, with 18 laps done, 18 laps to go in this race. And yeah, with Jay's 3-second penalty, which I didn't want it to decide on penalties, James will win the championship in GWF after missing a few races, but so was Jay and so was Jack and so was everybody, to be fair, currently in this race. As can James hunt down the lead of the championship here by getting ahead? A shame of a race for me. I'll come back more strong. Thanks to everything. No problem, New Berlin, mate. No problem. It's unlucky for you though, and you will come back, I'm sure, better, as James then wants to come back better at Jay. He's going to try and fit it round the outside. He's a bit too far back, I think, but he's going to make the plunge down into turn 4. Gets pushed a little bit wide. Is that a warning? I'm not too sure, but can he launch an attack down into turn 6? Entering the bowl section, not quite. He's going to just back off now and try to get the DRS on the main straight, but the dirty after this section must be killing him. And the same with Norwich Fan in behind. Dr. Sui is still just clinging on to the edge of this pack. The Monster Munch has dropped back a lot. He thinks the mediums can't make it to the end. He probably thinks he's in a great position to win this race because he thinks that the mediums can't make it to the end, but they definitely can. He's on the hards, and the mediums are for F1 Lucas. That's probably why he went longer to get the fresher mediums. Everybody else though on the mediums, apart from Monster Monkey Sacred Karem, on the hards, and then the rest are on the medium tyres. But can he launch a move back here from James into turn 1? He's going to back off early. He's going to get the DRS on the next straight. The same with Josh, just biding his time currently through turn 1. And can James go for a move this time? Jay's probably going to defend the inside, and he's not going to be close enough to go for a move. He tries to fake one, and he can't quite do it, as Jay maintains P2, but he really needs to try and pull a gap in the next 16 or 17 laps to make sure he gets that 3-second penalty, or I think he's trying actually to defend the outside to push him wide to give him a 3-second penalty for track limits. And that is a smart idea. That's the only way surely you think he can win the championship, unless James spins into Josh and then into Dr. Svi, who is out of the championship race anyway. Jack then 5.6 seconds in the lead of this race currently, looking very comfortable out front. Haven't really seen any mistakes creep in. He wants to go for fastest laps. He has the fastest lap. James, if he wants to stay in P3, needs to keep the fastest lap, but he comes P2, which he's going to grate his way up to now. He backs off to try and get the DRS on the next straight. Is that going to work for him? As this Commandment Coco round, which is going to be approached almost to lap here by the leader of this race. The DRS then open. He's going to push him to the outside of the track again. They're going to be going side by side. He's going to try and push him as wide as he can. It's going to work again. Can he get a penalty for it? No, he can't. But he might have been given a warning for that. And this tactic for Jay is currently working to a charm. We'll have a look actually. Did James get a warning for that? I've gone into the wrong thing. Did he get a warning for that on this current lap? How many warnings has he got actually? But luckily for him, he hasn't got. He's got one warning for track limits so far. Apart from that, he seems to be okay. And that warning did not come then, so he's getting quite lucky. His strategy is going to try and work for Jay, but I'm not sure how long it's going to take him, because at the moment he's got to try and defend his championship lead that he has now. But if he can enter P2, James, he'll be able to win the championship on the track without the penalties coming in to be involved with anything. So he's going to get the DRS in the next straight. Jay with a step of oversteer. This could invite him to get the move done before the braking zone. He tucks into the toe. He tries to go round the outside again. Will Jay send something from far back? No, he can't. And James is up into P2 in this race. And this is just... it went from a Red Bull 1 and 2 on the track to Red Bull 1 and 3 on the track now. With James can now just sit and try and let Jay go for moves, but it wouldn't really matter for him with that 3-second penalty. And now James is really in the driving seat, because he can just control whether he gets the warnings or not, because he will not be getting pushed wide by anybody anymore. He'll be the one pushing people wide. But this battle is definitely not over yet. Norwich fans still in this battle to try, and I'm not sure if the fastest lap is on for him anymore, unless he can try and find a pit stop gap under a safety car, get the fastest lap, clamber his way back up to P3. But Jack again setting another fastest lap. as I'm talking about that, with Jay though wanting to look for the move down the inside of James, he backs off as well, looking for a move into the next DRS zone down into turn 4. Yellow flag to set the one commandment. Coco is out on the side of the track. There could be a safety car, and it is a safety car, a full course safety car. What's going to happen with the pit stops then? I think you can take a set of softs to the end on this current what do you call it, as Tosh is backing off immensely now, try and give a pit stop gap possibly, I think, to Notch Fan ahead as the full course safety car coming in. How much would that affect this race? I don't know, but Jack will now be under threat from people behind him, as Muncher gets a drive-through penalty. That is not what he wanted from P6 in the race. He retires from the session. So now we only have 10 drivers in the running. 10 drivers now obviously going to be all in the points, as is Jack going to make a pit stop to get onto the fresh set of soft compound tyres. Is James going to do that? Someone's got to go aggressive, and it is going to be Jack who's going to be making the move. Will James stay out to try and defend his championship? He looks like he's going to be staying out. He's going to enter the pit lane. Same with Jay, same with Josh, and same with Ruben. And with that here, actually, can a double stack affect them? Will it affect them too much? No, their double stack has got it absolutely perfect. Actually, he's getting held up quite a lot with that 5-second penalty, and that puts Josh up into 3rd place, and James wins the championship so far. And he can't get his 5-second penalty removed either with that. Jay, who is now crucially behind the double stacking Alpines. So this has gone terrible. What is this? Wow, I've just seen into the garage of Alpine there, and what is going on? Why? There we go. That's what I wanted to actually see. Like, I don't really care about their garages and stuff. Oh, what the hell? Anyway, Toxic this week can now defend Jay, and Jay was looking from a good position to a bad position. He's not going to have to clear 3 cars and gap them by 3 seconds to do anything. And I forgot he got that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane earlier on. And everybody on the fresh soft compounds then. This could switch up the race. And Norwich Fan needs a fastest lap. It's imperative that he gets this fastest lap for him, because that's the only way he can win it from a P2 situation. But yeah. Let's have a look at some of the warnings that have been given out. So you've got collisions with each other, we've got collisions with each other again. Oh, that's a collision with the leaders actually. Anyway, Jay obviously has that 3-second penalty. Any warnings since that penalty was given out? Obviously we have got then Jay with a penalty, and then the track limits, and then another warning. So he has got a warning and a penalty. We've got Jack with 1 warning, Jay was speeding in the pit lane, and James with 1 warning currently. Toxic Sweet with a current warning. Jay with another warning. And very close to getting a 6-second penalty, which will absolutely ruin his race. Down in P5 already, top 4 without any penalties. Norwich Fan crucially without any track limits warnings. Can Jack sustain this 1 warning throughout the whole entire race? If he can't, he'll be choking the championship. But the championship is not even his currently anyway. It's James's to lose, and in that P2 position, Red Bull then. I have a quick calculation. 36 points is what they're currently getting. Compared to a Norwich Fan and Toxic Sui, who are getting a combined of 37. So Alpine take home the constructors as it stands, but they don't take home any drivers' championship, and neither do Red Bull. It's James who will be taking it back as the championship leader, as a safety car is in this lap, and Jack is going to be backing them up enough that they can't get a slipstream into turn 1. Is he going to go now? He's up to gear 3. He's still revving up the engine though. The safety car is into the pit lane. When's he going to go? And he's gone now. The ERS is on. It's a good restart for Tochi, but he's going to have to back off from his teammate. And this could allow James to go on the inside. And he's been spun round. And that's another spin. And that could ruin Jay's race even further, as Treeburner's also run with him. Was that the man that did it to him? Or was it Jay down in P4, making it now a Red Bull Constructors' Championship, but still a Mercedes Drivers' Championship, as Norwich goes defensive to the inside. But he's going to get a massive toe down into turn 6, arriving into the bowl section, going around the outside. This is where Touch had his first spin out, and he can't make a move just yet. He's going to go down the inside aggressively, and he's going to push him really off the track there almost, and he's going to be spun around as well. And I guess it's what he deserves almost, because Norwich found up into P3 now, but a massive gap to the cars behind. And Jay can now join Ruben down there in a lonely P8 and a P9, which this now I think does still leave the constructors in the hands of Red Bull, but they won't really mind about that, with Treeburner having a horrible time as Jack goes fastest with a 184. I don't see anybody getting close to that, as Jay then going really aggressive and even spinning almost out Karem there, and he's being very aggressive and quite dirty with his driving currently at this stage in the race, and almost deservedly gets spun out because he pushed off Josh, and he spun out Ruben twice in this race, almost spins out Karem, so he could see another time penalty coming his way. There's another retiree of Treeburner, another safety car, which helps out Josh to try and get his bid for the lead of this race. I'm not sure if he can get the lead, but a second place would be alright for him, as a saving fuel would be nice for the drivers. But yeah, at the current state, in the current moment, it seems to be going the way of James Biscuit. 1, 2, 3, 4 will be getting the championship to go his way at this current moment in time. And Ruben then down into P9, Jay down to P7. They're all. Can he launch any moves? Because of course his teammate's going to tell him when to go, because they still have the championship to win. They all have it to contend for, but I just don't think that they can. Anyone else can win it apart from the top 3 currently in this race right now. But F1 Lucas is up into a nice little P4 position here on the softs as well. I think everybody made a pit stop apart from yeah, nobody. Everybody made a pit stop. So we're going to have another pit stop gap be made, safety car restart, and yeah. Right then. As Jack has got a 5-second penalty. Right then, safety car should be in this lap. The pack was still pretty bunched up, but It's getting quite heated between the Alpine and the Red Bull drivers. As Jay is passing Mr. Monkey under safety car, and he's got the move down on the safety car. I'm not sure how legal that is. That surely isn't legal at all. What? I don't really know what's happening there, but Mr. Monkey wants a position back, but I don't think he's going to get it. Safety car in this lap. We've got a 5-second penalty to be awarded to Jack. That will probably be removed, but as it stands anyway, he isn't the championship winner. James is the championship winner, so he's going to have to get a good tow. He's already gone already, I think. No, he hasn't, sorry. Safety car is still directly ahead of him. Is he going to go late? Is he going to go early like last time? We'll find out in a minute. Safety car has gone past the safety car line. He goes immediately as Extinct Body gets a time penalty for a collision with Jay. 7 laps to go in this race as Mr. Monkey dive bombs really far back on Jay. It's not quite good enough as Lucas is then still having contact, and Jay is into the wall, and Jay that surely, and that has ruined the hopes of his championship and the Constructors' Championship for Red Bull, as they currently now are not winning that one. But with Josh in P3, he's going to really want to get past James, but he's going to have to get past Jack as well. There's Toxic Swede up into P5 already. If he can get into P4, he's right behind his teammate. I'm sure he can try and get ahead of James as well, hold him up, and then maybe try and go for a move on Jack. I'm not too sure. Jack seems pretty untouchable today already, but if that 5-second penalty doesn't get removed, which I'm going to guess it will because he was in AI mode for it, it's going to be a miracle. If Jack wins the championship, it's also going to be a miracle if Josh wins the championship, and even a bigger miracle if Jay wins the championship, as he flew into the wall down into turn 4, going very aggressive as he's almost spun again, and he's onto the grass. And this has gone from bad to worse, to good to worse, to bad and everything for the Red Bull drivers, as now Norwich found hopes that the 2 drivers ahead of him get 3-second penalties to add on, so he can try and stick within that 3-second gap in this next 6 laps to go and try win the championship. He got pole position. It was his first pole of the year, I think, denying Jack of any poles, as he doesn't care about 3-second penalties. He wants to just get ahead of Extinct Body and then get to help out his teammate in P3. But it's going to be a close one towards the end of this race. James trying to stick with Jack as much as possible to try and make that gap not be allowed to go to P 3 seconds, but he's not going to get DRS on this next straight. This is going to massively help out Josh, surely. Jack was looking so strong around Brazil in the practice sessions they were doing. James looking the closest to him. He's now even been gapped by a second as well. So it's going to be very close between James and Josh as Jack sets another fast lap of the race. So Josh needs this P1 to win the race. There's yellow flags in sector 1. There's a car off the track. There's 2 cars off the track. It's Toxic Sweet again and Extinct Body, people off the track in P4 and P5. And this is Lucas again up into another P4. This race has been crazy, and it's going to keep getting crazier into the next final laps of this Grand Prix. But James falling away from Jack, and this is really helping out Josh, who is really closing in on him actually. Does he have damage, or is he trying to lift and coast through corners? I'm really not sure why he's causing himself to lose this much time to Josh behind him. But can he help him out and try get the fast lap of the race by giving him that DRS on the main straight, giving an easy pass on that main straight? It's going to be close towards the end of this race, but I'm sure Jack is equally pushing for that fastest lap because he knows that he needs it to win the championship, and it will be only won by 1 point if Josh finishes in P2, and it'll be devastating for him. But then Josh is going to go down the inside of James in turn 1, and James is backed out to try and get the DRS on the run down to turn 4 as Ruben is retired. It's his gifting now, surely, the champions, the constructors, to Red Bull. But James is going to come right back at Josh, and he can't keep that P2 position. He's going to have to wave it past him as look at Jay that far down the order as Mr. Monkey now gets past Extinct Body, and Jay, I think he's going to hold himself up a little bit here to give DRS to his teammate to make him pull away from the pack. That is what I can think of that's going to happen, but yeah, I'm not too sure. But Josh is really focusing now on getting up into P2, and if he loses the championship by 1 point, if he loses the championship by any points, actually he needs the fastest lap to make them, actually, I think they'll be level on points anyway, actually, so, no, they've been 141 each, without them two getting the fastest lap, but he's losing by 1 point currently. He takes that point off and adds it to his own, he will be, of course, into the lead of the championship by a point himself. So he can either lose the championship or win this championship by a point today, and he wants to be on that winning side. But I think it looks like Jack's going to be coming back to me, not as the world champion, well, not the world champion, not as the champion, but as the runner-up. And James will be champion as it stands. It's going to be very interesting for everyone involved in this race. Now then, 5 tenths is the gap from P2 to P3. We've got Jay down in P8, cutting corners, getting 3-second penalty after 3-second penalty. I don't really know what he's doing, but yeah, it just isn't going his way today. But he's going to be P8 anyway, as Josh is now down the inside of James. The switchback is available, but he's not going to get it. And James will come back at him, I'm sure of it, into the next braking zone. Look at the ERS flashing. He's got 1%, 2%. It's going to go down to 0%. He's going to try to stick up the inside again. He can't quite do it on the second to last lap of this Grand Prix. But Jack then will come home probably, most likely, for the win. But maybe not the championship win. So it's going to be unfortunate for him. If James comes second, I'm pretty sure the championship still goes. Yeah, if he comes second and Josh or Jay doesn't win, he is the champion. So you can even come third with the fastest lap. Actually, if he comes into third place here, James falls down in this last lap of the race, Jack will be the champion of GWF. So it's going to come down to the last lap of racing here in Sao Paulo, and James is going to be susceptible to a move down the inside, and this could be it. At the current moment in time, Jack is the champion of GWF in Season 1, but James will come back at him to fight it now. And has he got enough ERS left in the tank? He's going to try and pip it round the outside, and for this, and now James is back as the champion on this last lap. Can Josh stick with him and try get him on a race to the line? Because Jack might be the champion, or he might not be, but the gap is only 2 tenths. The dirty air is going to kill him here. He almost spins, he catches it luckily, goes a bit deep into that corner. He needs to make sure he keeps it here in order for Jack to be the champion. He looks like he's close enough for a move. If he can keep it here for the next 2 or 3 corners, he might be able to make Jack the champion. But Jack has spun! Oh my! On the last lap he spun! And now this could be a battle for the lead! Jack spinning! 6 tenths. Is that enough to catch him on the last lap of this race? James is going to come across the line surely to win the championship and the race. He is going to come across the line, and with a late spin from Jack, that ruins it completely, as now he comes on P3. Josh was so close to winning the championship, but he couldn't quite do it. And it was the last lap that it came down to for Jack, spinning, and he couldn't do it. Wow. Jack might not have Jack might not have got the championship anyway. But wow. James is the champion of GWF in Season 1. And Josh takes home P2. Doesn't win the championship, but there is your championship winner, James Biscuit. And James is the champion. And from pole position, Josh just couldn't quite do it, but he could have done with his teammate up there. But we're going to get them in for interviews now. Hello, Jack.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either.
Well, I got constructors as well.
We've got constructors and
And, yeah,
I don't know if you know
me being
this.
a fucking idiot. Me being an idiot, accidentally lived an overtake through that's going on, sure. Good long time, but it doesn't matter. We weren't going to win it anyway.
But I don't know if you know this. Josh was within 4/10 of James before taking avoiding action of you. So he could have overtaken James on the line, which would have won you the championship. But
No, it wouldn't. James would have beat me by 1 point.
1 point would have been. Oh.
Yeah.
So you still.
Well,
Because you had the
Well,
fastest lap, so you'd have beaten him. Because he told me that he needed the fastest lap from third to win, and you had it, so I think you would have won. I'm not sure though. But I just went to cut back to you to congratulate you on the win, and you'd spun.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Honestly, 1 minute. Let me watch this, because Ruben's just reported James for something. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
That could be a penalty.
And if he gets the penalty, Josh has won. So.
Oh, mate, if he gets the penalty post race, I might didn't spin over the water.
Oh yeah. Shoo. Wow. That's funny. Well, that's funny.